Alright, so I'm going to show you how to make a simple snake game like this. There's not too much work that went in it, but yeah, if you view this page source, you can see that the codes really aren't that long. This is all of it right here. There's no images. It's all plain HTML. So let's get started. I just made a video and I was so close. I was right. All I had to do is explain this right here, but my 10 minutes were up. So that sucked so bad. So let's not do that again. So here's the empty HTML file. I just undid everything I just did. So I'm going to redo everything, like copy, paste, redo, whatever. So, I know exactly why I did that. That wasn't no big deal. So here's basic HTML. You got your doc type, your title, the viewports, probably unnecessary. This prevents selecting text, so that way you won't select this little text right here. I should probably do something else because actually it changes the cursor, but that doesn't matter. That's kind of unrelated. And then this is just for position absoluting for HTML. So then now here's some HTML. This is the timer, the best record kind of text above. Right there, it's time. This is the main canvas with the snake. This is the background canvas of the grid. So the background right here, it's on its own canvas. There's no need to paint something like that every loop. And then here is the My3ds logo. I couldn't find it at first, but it's actually way over here, so I might fix that actually. But not now. Next, what's going on? Come on, show me that. Reset function. This basically resets the game. So you can see I have comments everywhere, kind of. This is a snake. You always want the snake to have a default of one block. Some of this might be wrong like that. Food equals false, so we'll get more into that later. Or you can pretty much understand what it is later. Key equals 39, so it's pointing right. This is actually, I think, depreciated. I don't think I use this anymore. Use. This is a use slot. What use is that right now, pretty much the snake head is always the used slot. And then since the food got rotten, which is what is actually happening, this also counts as a used slot. And the used slot basically means there's something there. So it's collisions, I guess. Yeah, you can call it that, collisions. And then you just clear the canvas because this resets the game, and if there was a previous game, you want to reset all what was drawn. Clock, that's just for speed. That's start is to keep track of the records. The rot, like you just saw about the food. Clear interval and set interval loop. That was basically, I think that's unnecessary. So I just probably did a little too much for you. On key down. Long story short, this code right here changes the WASD to arrow keys. So you could use the keyboard also, like the letters. And then facing, I guess it wasn't depreciated, it needs to be here, but it's in a loop, the game loop, which I guess it doesn't need to be there. Anyways, so basically, long story short, what this does means is since I'm moving right, if I press left, it will not work. So this is what this code here does. Just, it makes me not run into my snake body. And then this code here means that the key variable will always equal a valid key. So if you press the letter H, for example, it will not equal the key code of H. It will equal only a valid key here or the previous key. So the key variable will always equal a valid key for the game. The on blur and the on click, this is basically for Nintendo 3DS browser stuff. You can just ignore that. The onload event, that's kind of unnecessary too because there's no images or anything like that. By the time you get to this code, the page is basically loaded completely. So it just says P equals, I get variable. This is the game text information. C will equal the background grid. And all this right here basically paints the background grid. That's it. It does not do anything else. And then now C will equal the main canvas and sets the default color. I create that interval variable here so that way the code won't have an error when it's doing reset with the undefined variable. But that stuff was kind of unnecessary. but it's there anyways. The record will equal the cookie of the snake survival cookie, and that's your best record. Then you reset the game, and you just set that to default. I mean false by default. So now let's talk about the loop variable. So now we have all the codes here. This is the whole full game. Now the only thing else I added was loop. Alright, so the only thing you need to pay attention to now is this. I should have explained everything else. So let's get started. The loop function. I basically set some variables. This code right here, this is basically for all this. It's pretty much for 3DS browser speed. If you're on a computer, you don't really need those codes. Facing equals... Actually, I thought I didn't need this, but I do need this. This is pretty important stuff right here. So yeah, facing will, if the key equals 37, then facing will equal left, pretty much. And then that's why, yeah, I just need facing. This is just part of the stuff that makes the snake not move into its own body. So for each loop, we add a snake head. Pretty much, let's just say the key code equals 37. So the snake X, this right here will go to 37. So the snake head that we're adding will equal the previous snake head. Snake 0 is always the snake head. So then if it's 37, then it'll equal the previous snake head plus a -1. So then that means we're going left, you know. I hope that makes sense. And then if it still equals 37, the same thing happens for the Y, the snake Y coordinates. So if this equals 37, you basically won't add anything to the Y. But if the key equaled 38, you know, going up, then it'll be a -1 that you'll be adding to the Y. And yeah, basically this is just short code, I guess, right here. But if you really, you know, once you really understand what this is, you're gonna realize, oh yeah, I understand exactly what that is. So then you add a head, and then the variable head will equal the snake head, you know, just for, you know, quicker codes or whatever, you know, reference. There's also the tail variable, but that's only used right here, so that could easily be removed, but I have it there for, you know, English. So you can kind of know what's going on or make your own modifications or whatever. So here, if food equals, you know, not false, and then if the head, the snake head X and the snake head Y equals, you know, the food XY, then food equals false, and then the rot equals 0. Food does rot. If it rots, it basically becomes a solid wall. And then if this does not work, then you cut off the tail of the snake, and then you delete the used slot. So then, you know, it gets rid of the collisions. And then this right here pretty much checks to see if the snake head is out of the screen. And if it is, it'll reset the game. And also, it'll check to see if the snake head is in a used slot. So that's basically the snake body. And then it will also reset the game if you go inside the snake body. And then, I guess you could probably put head X here. I'm not too sure. But you add a used slot, you know, another part of the snake's body. So it adds the snake head, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I changed up the head. So it adds a snake head for collisions. And then if food equals false, then it will just keep looping here until the food finds a new randomized location on the screen. This paints a new head, this erases the tail, and then this paints the food. That's all that really works for the graphics, other than the HTML of the game time right here. And then this is the rot stuff about the food. If rot is greater than the rot default, you decrease the rot default, so then the rot will, you know, happen quicker because, you know, just, you know, it's a video game, you gotta make it hard. And then you make the rot a used slot, so it counts as collisions. Then you just paint the rot and then say food equals false. You can search it again. E will just equal the current record. Record will equal either record or the current record. So basically, this updates record to stay as the highest possible. PHTML just, you know, that's just the HTML of the game. And then this sets the cookie of your record. And then last, if max is too many, it could loop forever. So then it will just reset the time to 0.